Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to go over just my glazing technique and just the process that I use to get my pieces finished. So follow along, you might find some tips and tricks that you haven't seen before, and we'll jump right into it. We have some bottles and some ramen bowls and some incense trays that we're going to glaze today with a white and also a black. So let's get right into it. So whenever I'm glazing my pots, I like to use gloves so that it's just not soaking in all those chemicals into your fingers, because sometimes it does get on your hands. Actually, it's inevitable that it's going to get on your hands, so just be cautious about that. Some people don't use gloves. I didn't use gloves for a long time, and I just recently started using gloves more often. So it just helps with just cleanliness, and after you're done, you just take off your gloves, and voila, you're good to go. So right here we have this bucket of white, and we are going to mix it up and get it nice and consistent. I like to use a drill with a cord because you don't have to worry about the batteries, and honestly you do a lot of mixing, so just the fact of switching out batteries over and over is just kind of annoying. So I do that, and I have a little mixer on the end. I might upgrade a little bit to a little bit larger one soon, but this one seems to do the trick. So let's hook it up and get mixing. So I got the drill mixer. I'm going to start mixing, and I just want to get it nice and mixed up before I start using a cup to mix. The key here is to not overdo it so you splash a bunch of glaze everywhere. So next I like to use a little pitcher to mix up a little bit more. And I like to do this motion about every other pot. I'll mix it up so it just doesn't settle too much. This is a pretty thick glaze. I actually might add a little bit of water. So now that everything's nice and mixed up, I'm going to start glazing some of these olive oil bottles. I have a few ways that I can do these. So you can put a funnel on these olive oil bottles and then pour it in, and then put the funnel on the next pot, pour it into the funnel, put it onto the next pot, pour it. So that is a way of doing it, but I've just kind of learned to just pour very carefully through the top of the pot, like so. I'll just get a nice mix up before I do it, and then slowly start. Try to get a nice stream. And then I twist it out. Sometimes I do it just right back into that cup so I can reuse it. Just like that. I line the inside of all of my olive oil bottles with a really strong white, just to ensure nice seal for olive oil. Olive oil can seep through glazes easier than other materials, such as like just coffee or anything like that. Oil has its way of making its way through a pot, so you really want to make sure that your bottles have a very, very nice liner inside of them. Messed up a little bit on the edge there. It's okay. Glaze does wipe off. Twisting like that just ensures that the whole inside is glazed. Just continue this process. Try to give it like 5 or 6 good twists before it starts going out of the bottle. So after I'm done glazing the insides, I'll go ahead and mix up the bucket really good so that I can dip in the outside of the bottles. So here we go with the first one. Not going all the way down with these. Trying to leave a little bit, like half. There we go. Another trick, if your bucket is low, is to go in at an angle holding it, and you get a little bit deeper of a glaze. When you go in, you want to make sure that you rock it, because if you don't rock it, sometimes you get little air pockets and then glaze does not meet the clay. So if you do this, you're going to have at least glaze down to here on the rim, and you won't have any mishaps. Glaze goes into the pot. Rock it all the way around. Pour out, nice and gently. Grab it by the rim. When we go in, we want to rock it like this so it doesn't have an air pocket at the rim. And when you pull out of the, like if this was the glaze, you want to pull out, lift up a little bit, and then lift out of the glaze. There we go, nice clean glaze right there. Rocking around. Drip out. Got lucky right there by not getting in the hole. You be more careful. So I really hope this video was helpful for you. Here's some results. Here's the incense tray with a little bit of speckle. Here's the ramen bowl with a nice clear layer, and it turned out pretty nice. And then we got some of the olive oil bottles here. You can see there's a little dent for your thumb, and the glaze turned out really nicely on these as well. Pretty happy with the results here. If you have any questions, please leave them below and I'll try to get to you in the comments. Until next time, just keep practicing. Glazing does take practice, so keep at it.